like a deja vu here. I'm in the middle of nowhere, like LAMEROO, South Australia. It's just after 9 PM. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and this weekend's a Summernats, so I'm doing another 1,000 kilometres to get to Canberra. I'm probably just going to go a little bit further tonight and stop. Got provisions to probably crash in the back of the LANCruiser here. Got to move a few things around, but there's space there, so yeah, chill out in the back and cruise over. It'd be really cool to get Summernats and drive the LANCruiser over, because last time I was there, I was over on a truck. Bit of a road trip as well. It'd be nice to just cruise around in it. I am working. I'm going to be working for Street Machine magazine there, but this will be my work rig. So yeah, we'll be getting around the event and doing stuff around Canberra and so forth. It's going to be an interesting year because it's the first one after COVID. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, the last Summernats was tricky as well with all the bushfires and everything too. So hopefully the vibe's pretty good and everyone's just there to enjoy themselves and be COVID safe, all that sort of gear. But I'm going to put the lights back on, try and get to the next big town, get a bite to eat, have some sleep, and then hit the road in the morning. It's not the Hilton, but I did sleep in the back last night. Got to the point where I was that tired that I needed to stop and sleep, so yeah, stopped and got about 6 hours sleep, I think. Not too bad, but yeah, beats paying for accommodation though. But yeah, I highly doubt I'd be able to get anywhere at that time of night anyway. But yeah, now on the road again. Probably got about 6 hours to go, I think. But yeah, weather's nice, sky looks pretty good. Lots of bugs on the front of the car, but I'll have to give it a hose down when I get there. But I'm on my way to DENI. Poor thing, bloody covered in bugs. Someone's parked my ute up a pole. So I'm in DENI in the middle of New South Wales, and it's the home of the ute capital of the world. So for anyone who doesn't know what a ute is a utility vehicle. It just so happens to be a ute on a pole. Full engine, transmission, everything like that in it. 5-poster bull bar like they're supposed to. And yeah, oh look, there's a LANCruiser pedal band. That's quite impressive, that. Alright, back to work. Alright, it's Sunday in Canberra at Summernats. I've had a pretty epic weekend, and epic as in like long days. Been here working for Street Machine. Epic weekend as always. Andy, Adrian, the team always deliver. It's just been a cool weekend. A lot of questioning whether it was going to be a big event or not because of obviously the current global situation, but lucky for us it was huge. And Summernats is an event that if you've never been to it, it's really hard to explain, and if you have been, you know why it's so good and you know why you want to keep coming back. So if you want to see everything we've done this weekend, jump on the Street Machine YouTube channel. I'll put all the links below, but enjoy this quick highlights reel of what we saw this weekend.
Mad.
Thank God for Burson auto parts. The starter motor's a bit shagged in the Land Cruiser. I don't want to drive home with the starter motor the way it is, so I rang Burson auto parts at Mitchell. Well, I rang Fishwick first and they said Mitchell had one. Thankfully it's not too big a job on this, so I should be able to get it in and get on the road by lunchtime. Cool. And it is actually quite warm today, so it's not cool. There you go. Looks pretty similar to me. So, how good is it when you got mates with workshops in Canberra? I'm at my friend's workshop here and just about to put the starter motor in the Land Cruiser. Big thanks to Burson Auto Parts for that. I'll just let it cool down for a bit, which is great. Even though it's pretty easy to get to on this car, that's the best part about the conversion, is it's just super easy to work on. I won't show you too much because out of respect to him, I'm not going to go in and show off all of his stuff. He does have some very cool cars. I'll show you the back of one of them, or maybe two. There we go. But anyway, I'm going to show you one thing that is a little bit close to my heart, because he owns the R1 that I built. Very cool to see this bike after 2 years. Let's see if it starts. Now, I was pretty stoked actually, because just recently that's a bit of a weird angle. Yeah, just recently, and that's a very cool Porsche too. Nice. Sorry, sidetrack. Yeah, just recently I posted the whole build series of this bike in the YouTube channel as one big video, and it's got some really good views, and the cool thing is that the feedback's been awesome and some really good comments. There's been some people that just literally are just, I like to call them trolls, and just hater comments and saying, why would you do that? You've ruined a perfectly good bike. Yamaha have spent millions of dollars developing the R1 and blah, 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 blah. Well, they also spent millions of dollars building the R1 back in 1998, which was an amazing bike back then. And just to explain it quickly in comments, this bike was never designed to be a production bike or a prototype or anything like that. It was literally to signify the 20th anniversary of the R1. I didn't ruin a perfectly good 98 because I actually found one where the frame had been polished. It had chips and scratches in it. It was a pretty run down kind of bike, but and that was kind of what I was after when I was looking for a 98 as a donor bike, because I didn't want to get one that was a good restoration project or one that was already a good bike. I wanted one that had been in the wrong hands, so to speak, and just run down a bit. And you know, I'd like to think that, you know, taking it from what it was to this has been good, but the bonus is that thanks to a really good friend of mine, John, who had a really nice rolling 98 frame, and literally that, I had enough parts left over out of the build of this to build another really nice standard 1998 R1, which I don't really regret selling. I built it and rode around for a bit, and it was excess to my requirements, so I sold it. But it's nice to have a nice stock 98 R1, and yeah, I mean, obviously this one here, it is what it is. It's just one of a kind, and no arrogance there. It just literally is one of a kind, and the engineering that went into it, and the fact that it's all road registered and engineered and tested and all that sort of stuff, and it rides brilliantly. Like the guys that have ridden it now, they rode it to somebody's tribute ride, stuff like that. They all said it was really, really nice to ride, and it's quite an interesting bike to ride too, because you get the feeling of sitting on a 98, but then all the feeling of a 2018 R1. But like, some people have asked why we didn't put like the older exhaust system and stuff on it. Literally, to get this bike legal and engineered, because of the fact that it ran a late model engine, it had to run the catalytic converter and the late model muffler as per factory, X-up valve, the whole deal had to be completely standard. It had to have genuine headlights with like the Euro markings, mirrors, everything had to be genuine Yamaha. All of that, and aside from a few aftermarket accessories like R&G rear sets and bits and pieces and sprockets and faceta parts, it is, yeah, pretty authentic 98. A few people asked about the frame and why the frame wasn't done in the anodizing. It was near on impossible to do that, because the frames are also have rubber dampening embedded in them as well. So because of the retro tech theme, it's hard to see, but it is like a metallic, and the finish is actually really, really good. and it sort of suits the era of the bike, and also the fact that because it is retro and not authentic 98, the white isn't like the factory pearl white, it's just a straight nice new white. So it does have that hint of new about it, but it still obviously looks like an original 9801. So I'd like to think it's a feather in my cap, and also the feathers in other caps of the people that helped me, like Cam from Solid Engineering, and Johnny, Tony from Race Bike Services, Ben Shaw from Extreme Creations, other people like Ariel from CPC here, Sheen, the engine mounts. Big list of people, but really good. And also, yeah, Tony from Southland Trim who did the seats. It's all in the video, so yeah. Anyway, I should get back to doing the Landcruiser because kind of need to get home at some stage. Where are the hack shop guys when you need them? Yeah. The workshop be without a barbecue bench. That is literally what you would call a skid lid. Yep, cool. Okay. And while I'm here, big shout out to Steve, Killer Custom Cables in Queensland, who did the loom for this car. Awesome job, and yeah, served the purpose beautifully. So yeah, big props to those guys because they are very good at what they do. Really interesting point while I'm under here. I haven't driven this car for about an hour and a half, and like the bell housing's still quite hot. Something's still quite hot. I mean, I'm mechanic hand, so I can touch hot stuff, but not for too long. But interestingly enough, and big shout out to Ryan at Advanced Headers, I'm literally hand on the header there and it is stone cold. So ceramic coated headers, very, very cool. Not 1 ounce of heat in them. I can touch that all day long. That's pretty amazing. So that goes to show how well they work when they're hot as well. So yeah, so yep, starter motor's bolted in. Good. Actually cranks nice and fast too. Thank you, Burson Auto Parts, you rock. Right, I'm on the way back to Adelaide. Gotta say, Summernats was pretty damn huge. But kind of a bit, and when I say we, I mean me and probably other people as well, a bit unsure as to how to go because of all the COVID and the fact it was 2 years and stuff like that. But really thankful it ended up being a massive event. I mean, it was awesome. It was just so good. And you know, it was normal tricky stuff with people having to wear masks and bits and pieces, and you know, touch elbows and fist bump and all that sort of crap. But other than that, it was your typical Summernats, but it was big and it was heaps of fun. So big props to Andy and Adrian, the crew. Smashed it as always. Excellent event. And I have been doing my COVID tests just to make sure I haven't got the Rona, because I have had a bit of a cough. And I sort of put it down to the fact that I was standing around Skid Row a fair bit the other day on the first day of Summernats, and it was pretty smoky where I was. I ended up coughing, so I now say that I have Skid Rona. So yeah, obviously no joke about Corona, but I'm now on the way back to Adelaide. I'm about 30 k's out of Wagga Wagga, got about 900 k's to go, and first fuel stop I did a quick calculation, and just been cruising down to 13 litres per 100, which is pretty cool for a big heavy fat car. So pretty happy with that. But yeah, just wanted to say 2022 is actually here, holy crap. And hopefully big things for this year. And when I say hopefully, I've already got some plans in place for things to do, and things I want to do, and obviously get the ute back on the road once I sort out what's going on with the engine. And yeah, should be heaps of fun. So welcome to 2022, welcome to the new era of HoonTV, and some cool stuff in the pipeline. Not going to give anything away, but if you haven't subscribed already, then if you feel like subscribing, love the support, and you'll obviously see when things happen. But yeah, I'm just going to sit back, relax, enjoy this very loungy 6 litre V8 in the cruiser, and drive back to Adelaide. See you soon.